Hello, everyone. Are you able to hear me? Am I visible and audible? I'm visible, I can see. Am I also audible? Just confirm the audio to me. Just confirm the audio, Baba. Okay, Priya. Thank you. Okay, great. Okay, so let's not waste any time. Time is at a premium. This is for ICSE class 10. If there are any 9 class student, that's also fine. This video is basically to talk about your study strategy, your preparation strategy, and your time management strategy for your English language examination. Actually, I had recorded this video, but then I realized that the audio did not get recorded at all. So then I thought, let me live hi kar lete hain. Okay. So listen to this carefully. There's no PPT. So you just have to listen to what I'm saying clearly. I've done 3 videos on narrative, descriptive, and argumentative essay in detail with examples. So that will give you an idea about the kind of quality that is expected. As I said in the thumbnail, if you are looking for 79 on 80, that's my target. I'm not looking for a 60 on 80 or a 68 on 80. My target is 79 on 80, which is possible. The only 1 mark that you may lose will be in essays. The rest of the paper, you can actually score full marks, which our students have done. So you can also do pretty much the same. So that is the agenda. Okay. So if you are looking at the English language paper, the pehla question jo hai, obviously, that is as far as that is the composition. Time management ke bare mein main baad mein baat karta hu. Please don't spam Ujjwal. This is for class 10. Please cooperate. So the main thing is that how do you approach the essays? You still have about 10 days. If you are looking to attempt the argumentative essay, my suggestion to you is that you prepare a list of, let's say, 15-20 topics. Okay, don't really look at PYQs. PYQ से आपको idea हो जाएगा कि किस तरह के topics आते हैं, but the same topics are unlikely to be repeated. I haven't seen in the last 5-6 years the same topics being repeated. Okay, so you will get an idea about the kind of topics that are asked, and accordingly, for instance, do prepare points on things related to technology related to children of your age, of the student's age, things related to environment, things related to pollution, those kind of issues, to exercise, to sports, to academics in general, right? If you do all those kind of things, then you will be going into the examination hall better prepared. उस समय पर जाके आप पॉइंट्स नहीं सोच रहे होंगे. Even better preparation would be if you are able to read quality essays and get an idea, okay, this is how I need to write an essay. The book that we had released in mid-December, got sold out, which is why we didn't print more, because we knew that we will not be able to get it before the examination. This was the book. So those of you who have got this book, please go through all the 75 essays and 25 letters which are in this book. Those of you who do not have this book, please look at the SWS English language test papers, because that also has essays and letters. I think it has about 30 essays. It has about 10 or 12 letters, and the rest of the grammar and the notice email thing. So you please read it, because usse aapko idea ho jayega how to start an essay, how to structure the essay, what kind of points you need to write, and most importantly, how to conclude the essay. So that is what you need to know. So as far as argumentative is concerned, please remember, if you are talking about 350 words, 300 to 350 words, have 4 distinct points in 4 distinct paragraphs, plus intro plus conclusion. आपके 300 से 350 वर्ड आसानी से हो जाएंगे. Each, when it's like you are presenting an argument and you are saying that because of this, I feel like this. The other big mistake that many students make, my request to ISC students, the thumbnail said it very clearly, this is for ICSE, my friends. So please do not keep spamming about ISC. ISC ke liye already, Ananya, the video has been done. You know that 2 days back. So please don't spam like this. Point number 2 is that when you are doing argumentative, be very clear that you do not present both sides. If you do that, you will lose marks immediately. You should not present both sides of the picture. You should say that this is, if you're talking about advantages, last mein jaake do disadvantage mat likh dena, you will lose marks. So that is one reason how people lose marks. You need to make it interesting, whether it be argumentative or narrative or descriptive or original story or picture composition. You need to make it engaging for the student, for the examiner, कि उसको पढ़ने में मजा आए. That is something very important. दूसरी बात, दूसरी बात is that originality is important, especially when it comes to original stories. कि अगर आप कहीं से कॉपी करके या आपकी बुक में से कोई स्टोरी है उसको उसी का स्टोरी आप लिख रहे हैं, that is not something which will be appreciated. I'm saying this specifically because this was done in 2019 board paper where students just copied one of the poems from the treasure trove book. So that is something which should not be done. The last point is you should have enough matter to write. Your content should look like, oh, ye point hai, ye bhi point hai, ye bhi point hai. So it should look like there is enough meat in the story, in the essay, in order to impress the examiner. Now, what are the tips that you need to follow? Listen to this carefully instead of spamming, please. Bikash, I have started with the essay. Obviously, I'm going to come to letter and application. I mean, show some patience, please. If this is the way it's to be done, I would much rather just do it for the students on the app. I will not come on YouTube at all. I mean, let me be very honest and blunt about it. Yes, social media. I said technology. That is a topic which you should definitely prepare, because many times, whether it be related to CCTV or things, something related to tech always comes as a topic in the examination. For those students who are looking to attempt the argumentative essay, if that is your plan A, I'm not looking at the comments at all now. So if people want to spam, they can keep spamming. I'm not looking at the comments at all, because it upsets my chain of thought. If your plan A is to attempt the argumentative essay, keep plan B as writing a report based on the picture composition. Picture composition, we have seen largely is that it is related to children. So if you are preparing, say, things related to child labor, relating to literacy, related to sports in schools, or related to dangerous, hazardous industries in which children work as far as child labor is concerned, or children just having fun. So if you prepare those kind of points, and if you see a similar picture which you can mold like that, picture composition can be your plan B in case the topic in the argumentative essay aapko pasand nahi aata hai, you don't find that comfortable, you have a plan B. It's always safer to go with a plan B into the examination hall. If your plan A is to write a narrative essay, then same, you can keep the picture composition as your plan B. However, you write it in such a way that around the photograph, let's say of a group of children, of let's say 3 children doing some activity, you can spin a story around those 3 children, because you would have been used to, I hope, practicing narrative essays, right? As I said, please read the narrative essays, because that will give you an idea about how to start, how to engage the mind of the examiner. It's in your interest to impress the examiner to the maximum extent possible. Okay, examiner ko khush karna hai, examiner ko impress karna hai, ye zaruri hai. That is what you are meant to do during those 2 hours in the examination hall between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Now, that's as far as the narrative is concerned. Descriptive, I find many students thinking descriptive is the easiest. Descriptive, to my mind, is the toughest. Because if you do not have good vocabulary, aapki bhasha and your ability to use good words, your ability to describe something, simple test flow. I had told this to my students at the beginning of the Ashwin course. Look at anything, any object in your room. Let's say this AC ka remote. Look at this AC ka remote and see whether you can describe this in, let's say, 150 to 80 words. Whether you can write an interesting passage on the AC remote. If you can do it, go for descriptive. If you cannot, don't do descriptive at all. Descriptive means you need to look at the five senses, etc. So descriptive is something which I would not advise students who are not good with their vocabulary, with their ability to describe something, right? Original story, again, if you are not in the habit of reading storybooks, my advice to you would be don't go for original story. So narrative, argumentative, picture composition, in comparison, I would say are better choices. It's my opinion. Someone's opinion could be different, but I'm giving you the logical reason why I think so. Okay. Now, the other point is in the 15 minutes that you have, in the 15 minutes that you have, in the 15 minutes that you have, please decide which essay you will attempt, obviously. Point number two, you also need to work out what are the points that you need to write in that essay. If we are looking at argumentative, I've already told you. If you're looking at narrative, how do I start this essay? How do I make this essay interesting? If the essay, I'll give you a topic, for example. This was done as part of a narrative essay. You have come back from a holiday and you find that your house has been burgled. Okay, chor ghusaye hai, chori hui hai. Narrate what happened and how did you deal with the situation. This was the essay topic that we did as part of our course. Some students, many of students wrote very well. Some students said, last month we had traveled to Himachal Pradesh. We had a very good time. We went and saw the apple orchards. We did this, did that, and all that. And second paragraph only, they come, we returned, we paid the cab fare to the Ola guy, the Uber guy, and then I entered the house. 1.5 paragraph chala gaya hai before you are reaching the topic. Please don't do that. This is something which is a no-no. You need to get into the topic straight away in the opening paragraph so that you have maximum words to deal with all that the topic has asked you in the examination. I hope I'm making this very clear, because if you're going to only spend time spamming, you're not going to listen. So please remember this. Get into the topic in the first paragraph itself. That's how you start. Okay. So that's something important. I've spoken about not doing both sides of the argumentative essay. In narrative, last year they had used the word imagine. But again, you have to talk about in the past tense. So you imagine this happened. How did you narrate what could have happened? So you're talking about the past tense. Usko pure sapne ki tarah nahi likhna hai. Usko past tense ki tarah hi likhna hai. Then no WhatsApp language. Definitely not. No Instagram language. Nahi to aapka anda bhi Insta 0 ho jayega. So please don't do Instagram language. Don't do WhatsApp language. Right? Preferably don't use apostrophes. Cannot likho. Can't mat likho. Will not likho. Won't mat likho. In the English language. Please don't use these kind of apostrophes. Okay. So that is something which you need to bear in mind. Narrative essay, another very important point, because this is a common mistake many students make. Narrative essay ऐसा नहीं है कि this is more scoring or that is more scoring. Whatever you write well, you have the ability, you have the potential to score 19 out of 20. Narrative essay में many students make the mistake of writing as though they are an adult. Please write as a 15-year-old only. Underlined. Please write as a 15-year-old only. You will not write as a 25 or a 40-year-old. You will not do that. Okay. And frankly, this probably will be the last live I will do. Seeing the way everyone is trying to spam, I'm seriously saying I will not do any lives anymore. It's very distressing, frankly. Keep your introduction small. Don't write a very lamba chauda kind of an introduction. Keep paragraphs small. I saw one essay written by a student where the entire page was one paragraph. Please think of the examiner. If that mass of words hits your eyes, he or she is not going to feel very nice about reading that. break it up into paragraphs, leave a line in between so that you make it easy for the examiner to read the question. Okay. Okay. Where could you lose marks? Listen to this carefully. Those of you who want to listen to this. The slow mode is possible only in Premiere. I couldn't find that in live. That was the reason. Let me say this. Abab, am I listening, talking about English language here? Am I talking about English language? I mean, show some kind of maturity out here, na? Arjit. You could lose 25% of your marks if you do not write even 300 words. Please listen to this carefully. There are many students uh, who would do that and have lost marks if you write only 275 words or 280 words. So please ensure that you do not fall short of the word limit. Important. Exceed करने से भी marks कटते हैं, but कम होने से और भी ज्यादा marks कटते हैं. So please just be careful about that. Number two, spelling mistake, grammatical mistake. You lose 1/4 mark for every mistake. Okay. The first couple of mistakes students, I mean, the examiner may overlook. But if you are, I mean, and this is again a common mistake, there, that is THERE को आप THEIR लिखेंगे, examiner is not going to be amused. First time he or she may think कि okay, जल्दबाजी में लिख दिया, tension, anxiety, stress, everything. But the second time also, if you're going to write the same thing, they will realize that the student has an issue. So please be careful about these kind of mistakes as well. Okay. Then, because in literature paper, grammatical errors don't matter. Okay, spelling mistakes don't really matter unless you make mistakes in the name, in the spelling of a name, right? Hindi maybe the first 2 3 errors are generally overlooked, but that may not be the case in English language paper. Can you get 20 on 20? No, you get 19 on 20. That's a norm. So many of our students have got it. So I'm telling this to you from experience. Okay. Yeah. The other thing which you should definitely do is to keep rereading the topic while you are writing. You know, when you're writing, keep the question paper in front of you and keep rereading. And this I'm talking specifically in case of the original story, in case of the narrative and descriptive. You keep rereading the question because क्या होता है उस question में 3 4 parts होते हैं. You have to say, talk about this, and about this. So please ensure that you don't lose out or miss out on any specific part of the question that has been asked. So keep rereading the question, keep looking at the picture composition to ensure you're not deviating from the picture that has been given or deviating from the topic that has been assigned to you. In photograph composition, another important point, don't describe what is visible. You have to interpret the photograph. That is important. इसमें अंतर है. इंटरप्रिटेशन में अलग मतलब अलग है एंड स्ट्रेट नरेशन. उसको जो जो दिख रहा है फोटोग्राफ को सीधा उसको डिस्क्राइब मत करो, उसको इंटरप्रेट करो इधर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ स्टोरी और इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ रिपोर्ट. ओके, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. डोंट मेस अप पंक्चुएशन, स्पेशली अगर ओरिजिनल स्टोरी में या नैरेटिव में आप डायलॉग्स लिख रहे हैं तो पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स का बंधु प्लीज ध्यान रखना, नहीं तो मार्क्स जाएंगे. ओके, दिस इज द बिकॉज यू डोंट रियलाइज इट एंड यू थिंक कि मैं पेपर फोड़ के आया, बट होता ही क्या है वहां पर स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक, ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक, टेंसेस मिस्टेक एंड पंक्चुएशन मार्क्स में मार्क्स कट जाते हैं. एंड इफ यू कीप लूजिंग मार्क्स एट द रेट ऑफ 1/4 पर मिस्टेक, you can keep seeing how much it will add to, you know. So tenses, if you are talking in past tense, stick to past tense. Don't jump from past tense to present tense to future tense and keep coming back to past tense and present tense. वो मत करना. Stick to what is to be done. The conclusion, someone asked, the conclusion cannot be a repeat of all that you have said in the essay. The conclusion has to be preferably an original point or something which kind of rounds off the essay. A clever line really helps. If you can remember a quote which you are not making up, an original quote, that can be an essay. Some data point can be an essay. As I said, go through the essays that I've put in the success test papers. You will get an idea about how to conclude an essay. That's how it will help. For example, let me just read. For example, there was this narrative essay about you had the school was closed for a week because of floods in your city. Then finally the school reopened. So narrate what happened in the school on that particular day. Okay. So pura essay mein, it's a narration about what happened in the school on that day. And this is how I concluded. As I sat in the school bus, I wished for things to get back to normal. The floods had disrupted life, plant, animal, human. And I prayed for mercy from the rain god. So you're kind of ending it and having something like a hope for the future कि कल से धूप निकलेगी. उससे पहले वाला paragraph is like the principal saying, that by tomorrow this puddle of water will disappear. Okay, so there are lots of these kind of essays or in the success test paper. So that is something which you can do or any other source that you can get, but look at quality material because essay, I can tell you, is at the heart of your language paper. If you have written a brilliant essay, even if your letter is not great, your marks, they will look at the letter sympathetically thinking that, okay, maybe, essay to better likha. So essay is at the heart of the essay, of the language paper. I'm precisely going to do that only next time. Next time, there will be no comments at all. If I do it, that is. It never happens when I do live for my courses. Never. You write in simple English. There is no need to show great vocabulary. There is no need to do anything of the sort. You need to just be simple, correct English. That's what is really required. Reading previous year essays will not help you because those topics are highly unlikely to be repeated. But the topics say you can get an idea about the kind of topics that are asked in ICSE examination. That's what I meant. Now, let me come to letters. I've already done a detailed video, so I will not go into too much of detail. Formal letters may pre-prepared topics. Even now you have 10 days of time. Read newspaper, especially the city pages. You will get an idea about the kind of issues that you can write to the municipal commissioner, the kind of points that you will get to make, or the police commissioner or the mayor of the city or the principal of your school. So those kind of topics, again, something which you should prepare something so that if you get a topic which you have done, it just makes your job that much easier in the examination hall. Informal letters, tone of friendliness. Please go and look. It's just a 20-minute long video on letter writing. It will really help you because I've also read out a couple of letters. So it will really help you on how to format a letter. Letters में 10 marks में से format के marks हैं, obviously the address, yours faithfully, thanking you, dear so and so, etc. उसके marks हैं, but main marks आपके content के हैं कि आपने क्या मीट लिखा है और उसको किस तरह से express किया है, उसके marks मिलते हैं. Content and expression along with format. So content और expression अगर डब्बा होगा तो आपको marks सिर्फ format का ही मिलेंगे, assuming that आपका format सही है. Okay, so that is something which you need to bear in mind. Now, preferably write all the 5 sentences. Okay. Now, and letter writing में 10 out of 10 मिल सकते हैं. So please don't make a mess of the letters. अगर by chance essay में आपके 16 भी आए, अगर बाकी पेपर आपने अच्छा किया तो फिर भी आपके 76 on 80 जरूर आ सकते हैं. Okay. Notice and email is all about format. Stick to the format. ICSE का जो format रिलीज किया हुआ है उसको देखो, उसी तरह से आपको नोटिस और ईमेल लिखना है, उसमें कोई भी फेरबदल नहीं करना है. जितना डिटेल्स पूछा गया है वही डिटेल्स देना है. You don't have to add any more details than that to that. So you just stick to the format. You will get your 5+5 marks as far as notice and email is concerned. Comprehension and summary, I've done lots of videos. Notice and email के ऊपर भी videos हैं channel पर. Please go and have a look at it. There is no difference in that. And as far as comprehension and summary is concerned, reading the passage is very important. Reading and understanding the passage is very important, and then correlate to the questions. Summary में, because सबसे ज़्यादा marks summary में जाते हैं, please write the answer to the question which has been asked. Once you write the answer in a rough grid, that can go up to, let's say, 65 words, no problem. Uske baad remove the words which you think can be compressed, made shorter, and that's how you write that. So once you do that, you will be able to make it into 50 words. It cannot be 47, it cannot be 49, it cannot be 51, it cannot be 52. 50 words is what you need to write. Okay, so that is something which you need to focus on. Then the most important, the keywords which are critical to that answer have to be necessarily included. Only then you will get marks. Now let's come to grammar. We have done lots of practice. आप पिछले साल के नाटू नाटू सीरीज दे सकते हैं, इस साल के दे सकते हैं. There have been lots of this thing. अगर और चाहिए तो सक्सेस टेस्ट पेपर्स में देखो. There are, I think, 17 or 18 tests only on grammar. 17 to 18 tests only on grammar are there in the success test papers, apart from essays and letters and notice, email and comprehension. 17 to 18 tests only on grammar. So the more you practice, the better you will get. इसका और कोई भी इलाज नहीं है. You practice, the more you practice, be it prepositions, be it tenses, be it transformation, be it synthesis. Prepositions में से 8 में से generally 3 will be phrasal verbs, but these phrasal verbs will not be very tough. It will not be of the ISC standard. It will be easier in comparison. Things like call up, call on, run into, run across, stand by, those kind of phrasal verbs, not very complicated ones. Okay. Then transformation, please know the rules. Very important. No sooner than, hardly when, as soon as, use of although, despite, in spite of, notwithstanding, active to passive, direct to indirect, exclamatory to interrogative, all these ones, subject verb agreement, using a question tag, ये सारे रूल्स आपको मालूम होने चाहिए. 10 दिन का समय है, बहुत समय है. You can actually, even if you don't know anything now, you can still know the rules of transformation and master those 8 marks. 8 marks can actually make a world of difference to your final score in English language. So please do that. Okay. Synthesis, क्या टेक्निक से? सी एमसीक्यू से काफी आसानी हो गई है सिंथेसिस में. सो जस्ट नो व्हाट इज द टेक्निक ऑफ जॉइनिंग द सेंटेंसेस विदाउट यूजिंग एंड बट और सो. बेसिक रूल्स हैं, इसमें सिर्फ 6-7 रूल्स हैं. उन 6-7 रूल्स को समझ लीजिए, यू विल बी एबल टू मैनेज एज फार एज जॉइन द सेंटेंसेस कंसर्न. इसके ऊपर भी वी हैव डन वीडियोस ऑन जॉइन द सेंटेंसेस. यू कैन डू दैट ऑल्सो. Divyanshu Negi, for the nth time I'm saying, video for class 12 has already been done. Please don't waste your time here. Simple and straight. Now let me come to the time management part. Time management कैसे करना है? पहली बात, many students attempt essay first. Okay, because उनको लगता है कि examiners like to see it in order. Examiners are not unreasonable people. They will look at the question. अगर स्टूडेंट ने लेटर से शुरू किया है तो लेटर पढ़ के लेटर को मार्क करेंगे. ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है कि आपको 1 2 3 4 5 ऑर्डर में ही जाना है. हाँ, ग्रामर में आप उसको जंबल अप मत कीजिए कि मैं ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन पहले करूंगा, फिर टेंसेस में जाऊंगा, फिर प्रीपोजिशंस में जाऊंगा. वो मत कीजिए. उसको ग्रामर को ऑर्डर में कीजिए. नोटिस और ईमेल में पहले ईमेल मत कीजिए, नोटिस को बात कीजिए. ऐसा मत कीजिए. नोटिस एंड देन ईमेल. That is something which you need to, within a question, don't jumble up because that may confuse the examiner. But the larger question, 1 2 3 4 5, you can go as far as you are free to jumble the order completely. Now, essays ka, the maximum marks are lost in 2 things, in essays and summary. And I'll tell you the reason. I'll give you the logic for everything. The logic is that students sometimes essay को लास्ट में अटेम्प्ट करते हैं, जैसे मैं भी कहता हूं, लेकिन टाइम नहीं देते हैं. At 12:40, if you start the essay with just 20 minutes to go for the exam to end, you will not be able to do justice to the essay. So you need to give the time that I'm telling you to allot to the essay. Your essay writing should start definitely by 12:20, not later than 12:20. उससे पहले हो तो बेहतर, लेकिन 12:20 के बाद essay मत शुरू कीजिए. 12:30, 12:40 को शुरू करेंगे, essay में गड़बड़ी होगी. So please ensure that agar essay, if you are attempting at the end, it should start by 12:20. Many students attempt the essay in the beginning और लंबा लिखते रहते हैं without bothering. Instead of taking 30 minutes, they end up taking 45 minutes. As a result of which, by the time they come to the summary question, summary के लिए time नहीं रहता. And summary में you need to be very careful. आपने 70 words लिखे होंगे, अरे 70 को मैं 50 कैसे करूं? You're not able to do that. By the time it's 1 o'clock, paper has been snatched away from you. You have written 55 words का grid, marks कटेंगे. So which is why I say summary, which can be complicated if you have not practiced it enough. अभी से practice करो, you will get used to fitting it into 50 words, and if you do that, you will be able to do a good job of this. Okay, that's as far as the summary is concerned. So my advice to you is read the comprehension, because if you spend time reading during those 2 hours when you should be writing, समझो no? Are you understanding the logic? The logic is that the 2 hours are for writing. Reading time के अंदर comprehension पढ़ लो, आपके दिमाग में फ्रेश रहेगा, and ऐसे ही immediately start attempting the comprehension question almost immediately. It is almost like your paper has started at 10:55. Start, पढ़ के खत्म करो, do the comprehension question in 25 minutes. 25 मिनट से ज्यादा टाइम आपको comprehension और summary में नहीं लगना चाहिए. 20 मार्क पॉकेट में. उसके बाद ग्रामर कर लो, बिकॉज ग्रामर आपने ऑलरेडी 15 मिनट के रीडिंग टाइम में देख लिया होगा, तो ग्रामर के क्वेश्चन में 10-12 मिनट से ज्यादा नहीं लगना चाहिए. 10 मिनट्स इज मोर देन एनफ, बिकॉज यू जस्ट हैव टू चूज द एमसीक्यू, राइट? यू कैन राइट द ऑप्शन, बट अगर टाइम है तो पूरा सेंटेंस लिख दो, उसमें क्या 5-10 सेकंड और लगेंगे. नोटिस ईमेल उसके बाद करो, दैट शुड नॉट टेक मोर देन 25 मिनट्स. 10 मिनट्स फॉर नोटिस, 15 मिनट फॉर ईमेल. देन उसके बाद डू द लेटर राइटिंग. लेटर राइटिंग में 20 मिनट्स शुड बी द टाइम अलॉटेड, and that brings you to 12:20 p.m. when you should start writing the essay. Essay के लिए आधा घंटा, 30 minutes you should attempt, you should spend for 30 minutes you should spend on essay writing, and leaving the last 10 minutes for revision, which is the most important. I'll tell you why it's important. Because I want you to go through the entire paper in the last 10 minutes. Read the entire essay, ताकि वो there or there जैसी गलतियां ना हो. Letter writing की address वगैरह ठीक से लिखा है नहीं, all the different format rules you have followed or not. Read the notice email. Go through every grammar question carefully, right? So that you are clear कि आपकी तरफ से you have done your best. So those 10 minutes of revision time, you should not compromise. I don't know what you want me to repeat. First, do comprehension, 25 minutes, 10 minutes grammar, 35 minutes, 25 minutes to notice email, यानी कि आपके 12 बजे तक आपके नोटिस ईमेल, कॉम्प्रिहेंशन और ग्रामर पूरी तरह से खत्म हो गया है. उसके बाद 20 मिनट में आप लेटर लिखेंगे, 12:20 तक. 12:20 से 12:50 तक आप ऐसे लिखेंगे. आई होप यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग राइटिंग एसेस. अगर आप अभी प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेंगे तो उस समय आधे घंटे में आप नहीं लिख पाएंगे, बिकॉज उस समय पे आप थिंक कर रहे होंगे. देयर इज अनदर रीजन व्हाई आई थिंक यू शुड डू एसेस एट द एंड, बिकॉज ऐसे टॉपिक अगर आपने पहले अटेम्प्ट कर लिया या दूसरी क्वेश्चन के लेवल पे अटेम्प्ट कर लिया, उसके बाद आपको 12:30 बजे एक अच्छा पॉइंट याद आया, आप उसको वापस फिट नहीं कर पाएंगे. Whereas if you have read the essay topic, even while you are attempting notice, email, letter writing, everything, grammar, etc., your mind will constantly be thinking about the essay topic कि मैं कैसे शुरू करूं, क्या points include करूं, so that when you start writing it at 12:20, you will be better prepared with the essay points and you will be able to finish it off in half an hour. Please practice writing some essays. Otherwise, I can tell you as a writer, you get into a writer's block. आपका दिमाग पूरी तरह से खुल के words, see, it's like a machine. It needs to bring out words. So unless it is oiled properly, unless it is used to churning out words, उस समय पर you could face a writer's block. And this is a problem which the best of writers face. If you don't write for, let's say, 10 days, 11th day pe you will take more time to write the same thing, which you would have taken much less time if you were writing regularly. So please practice writing, be it letter writing, be it essay, and 10 minutes of revision time is something which you should definitely not compromise on. Okay, so that is all that I had to say. There are many videos already, Gaurav, Dhyani. I think it's just rude to be spamming like this. Yes, you need to draw a grid for summary. Yes, most definitely. Not necessarily unless your handwriting is very big, Yogyata, where it is not very clear. So you make it easy. In that case, you could leave a line. If your handwriting is too big that, you know, your words are kind of almost clashing with each other. I've already explained that in great detail. Okay, so that is something which I wanted to say. Subject is not necessary as per the ICSE letter. Arey Pranav, tumko to sab malum hai, you know all this here. Why are you here? Okay. I am very disappointed with the spamming out here. So it's somehow it doesn't leave a good taste at all, frankly. I expected 10 days before the exams, students will be a little more serious. Okay. So that's all I had to say. I am not going to spend any more time here because time is important. I have a lot of work to do. You also have a lot of things to catch up on. But please, English language paper is where students lose maximum number of marks. 2 papers generally over the past many years have messed up the overall score. One is English language, the second is physics. So please pay more attention to these 2 subjects in particular, so that English language mein kharab ho gaya, so aapka literature ke paper pe it will put more pressure that, you know, you need to make up in the English literature paper. And this time literature or history civics, which are otherwise very high scoring papers, could put you in a spot of bother because of the MCQs, because of the kind of critical application. Because, you know, the problem is that, you know, we are just too used to just expecting book mein jo likha hai सीधा सीधा lollipop question aayega. ऐसा नहीं होगा, especially in history and civics, which is why in our test papers we have included a lot of questions which will force you to think ki is par, you know, at least 10 seconds more than what it would have been the case last year in 2023 or in 2022. So you need to think, you need to engage your mind, you need to think that, okay, iska connection is tarah se hai. So questions will not be straightforward question, thoda teda meda hoga. It won't be very tough, but it will be tricky. It's as simple as that. So please bear that in mind. So which is why I say, no, just doing PYQs is not going to help this year. Just doing PYQs is not going to help this year. You need to look at quality critical application questions, analysis question, what I had said, the aura question, the analysis, the understanding, the recall, and the application questions. Only then you will be able to do that. Good question, MCIC, this thing. I always tell my students that write a hostel address, very safe. If you are writing something within the thing, it's always, you can write your residence address, koi problem nahi hai. But if you write a hostel address, it just makes it very neutral territory. Do not write. There are some students who have made the mistake in the past of writing examination hall as the address. Please don't do such things. That's not considered correct. Okay. So that's all I had to say. Yeah. So I hope this has been of use to you. Thank you very much. Tata. Bye-bye.